What is up, everyone? This is Cher talking and welcome back to my channel. On today's video I will be talking about Dragon Quest III HD-2D Remake, but also Final Fantasy VI and the chances of it getting an HD-2D Remake as well. But first, let's see Famitsu sales from Dragon Quest III release, and the sales have been amazing at 121,000 retail. Especially on Switch. Of course, it was a top-selling game on Switch with 641,000 copies sold and 180,000 for PS5. There's no PS4 release for this game. So that's insane, and also reflects the popularity of the original game. And they took the right approach. Well, in my opinion, the only problems with this game was still relying in keeping the game way too close to the original. The HUDs and also the system messages that appearing on the screen could have been made better, and they could also allow you to see the attack animations. It would not hurt them to make it more appealing to everyone, not just about nostalgia. And this game was also released on Steam globally, so I don't know how much they prefer to play on Steam. There's a Steam Deck, but they always prefer the Nintendo Switch anyway. But I do believe that this game will reach like 2 million sales, and we're talking about physical. I just don't know when, but certainly will. And there are still the digital sales, and that means that this game is a success, and Square Enix is in need of good news. Well, the game is way too beautiful, one of the prettiest games I have ever seen. Okay, now, pretty nice. Square Enix is loving this news. But there are more. We saw an interview with the Dragon Quest III producer at the Inverse website, and in 2018 Square Enix released the Octopath Traveler, and they discovered a winning formula, and I totally agree with that. The HD-2D. They spawned Octopath Traveler 2, Live Alive, and now Triangle Strategy. Finally, Dragon Quest III, that will spawn Dragon Quest 1 and 2 as well, and probably more to come. Okay, but he was asked which Final Fantasy game they would love to make in HD 2D. And okay, it's not that we have concrete plans for this, but personally, I will have to say Final Fantasy VI. Hayasaka tells Inverse that Octopath Traveler was the first HD 2D title developed while referencing Final Fantasy VI, as it had the highest quality pixel art. I would love to see how the game we reference would look with the 2D HD art style. But then it is interesting that he's saying that the game tried to replicate Final Fantasy VI, because Final Fantasy VI has been remastered before and it doesn't look like Octopath Traveler at all. Here I got some screenshots from Octopath Traveler. As you can see, they have big bodies. There are plenty of different pictures here, but you can get the idea that the characters do have larger body sizes. I went to Google to check the SNES sprites. As you can see, they are actually 2 times the head. And these other sprites that we can see here are actually based on FFVI. Final Fantasy VI. For example, the characters had much bigger sprites, and those kinda remind me much more what you can see on Octopath Traveler. So I don't know. Also, it's important to say that the Octopath Traveler designers are not exactly the same ones that are working on Dragon Quest. The ones that are working on Dragon Quest are those that have worked on Triangle Strategy. Yeah, they have more than one team working on HD 2D. As you can see here, Triangle Strategy and Dragon Quest III HD 2D Remake. And if you want to check on the Octopath Traveler, it's not Arc Inc. that is doing, it's another company entirely, and that is also interesting. And you know what's funny? It's that Star Ocean, the second story R, the new remake, is also similarly designed, but was developed by Gendrot. So at least the 3 companies working on HD 2D releases, and maybe even more if Square Enix is hiring other third parties. Okay, but let's get back on topic. I said that Octopath Traveler didn't took Final Fantasy VI as inspiration unless they use it, Brave Exvius, as a base. It was either Suikoden, because they also have similar body sizes, or, of course, and most likely Chrono Trigger, that have bigger sprites compared to Final Fantasy VI. But now that we know that there are plenty of developers and they can have different opinions, I wanna know, do you guys really want Final Fantasy VI HD-2D? Because we have Pixel Remaster. Pixel Remaster is a remake using pixel graphics. Yes, it's not HD-2D, but it is already pixelated. Now, in my opinion, we do not need another pixelated Final Fantasy VI, and the reason is quite simple. Final Fantasy VI, even though it is a very old game, still has an amazing story. Yes, it was the reason why I became so addicted to Final Fantasy and to RPGs in general. There is a point in the game where the world as we know ends. The protagonists and the heroes, they lose. And all the characters have nice personalities, they are very different apart, and they were developed by different writers. Yes, if you don't know, Tetsuya Takahashi and his wife actually worked on this game, Tetsuya Takahashi by doing graphical design, and Soraya Saga wrote the story of the Figaro brothers, alongside many other writers that usually took two characters to write. That's why they are so nice. And because they are just so good, I believe they deserve a 3D remake. They can create something nice out of Final Fantasy VI and does not need to be pixelated again. The only good thing would be to have the opera scene again in full HD 2D, because we already have it as a glimpse, because they did this scene using 3D environments. I would love to see an HD 2D remake if they still make a 3D one. If they have only one choice, I would say I prefer a full 3D game, because this game deserves. It's one of my favorite games of all time, and I still love all these characters to this day. And seeing them in HD 2D would not be as great as in full 3D, at least in my perspective. I respect you all, but please say here on the comment section what you think about this all. What would you prefer? Do you agree? Do we need another remake or not? Are you happy with Dragon Quest III sales? Because I am. I'm loving that Square Enix finally has some good news. Thanks so much for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't, and I hope to see you soon in the next video or live stream. Goodbye.